There is something about the Impossible Heir that is completely incomprehensible. I mean, it's a program that's supposed to be about a low-life, illegitimate son who works his way up the ranks with the assistance of his pal, who has only ever known darkness and dreams of power. It's not complicated at all. That much makes perfect sense. The program, on the other hand, makes a peculiar 180-degree turn and ruins up its great story with awful storytelling. It tries to add twist after twist in order to keep the audience wondering, but instead it leaves us bored and uninterested. As opposed to that, the number of times that I have been diverted away from this show is abnormal, particularly when compared to other Korean dramas. I am falling asleep within about 5 minutes of an episode starting, scrolling through Instagram, or trying to find excuses to get away from my screen. The episodes aren't even as long as they could be. Queen of Tears is doing a minimum of 85 minutes every episode, but I still find myself falling asleep. Do you have a school project, or are you doing this for fun? In any case, I am relieved that my rants will cease the following week. To pass the time until then, let's simply quickly review the 10th episode of The Impossible Heir. After the cliffhanger that was shown in the 9th episode of The Impossible Heir, the 10th episode of the show begins. In-Ha discovers his father in the hidden chamber that he has at the office, which is located on the 150th floor. Yeah, don't even get me started. This is exactly what we had suspected. When Joong-Mo reaches this point, he is at his wit's end, so he simply urges In-Ha to leave the firm and return to what he used to be if he wants his father to absolve him of responsibility for the death of his real son, seeing that he isn't illegitimate and all. Unfortunately, Joong-Mo suffers yet another stroke, this time for real, and drops his tablets in the middle of the talk. I believe this is due to the stress that he is experiencing as a result of all that is going on. Instead of handing them over to him, In-Ha, who is watching his father fall into the bathtub, moves closer to him in order to deliver a sarcastic remark to his father as he suffers from his illnesses. Joong-Mo makes an attempt to take In-Ha's hand, but In-Ha informs him that it is too late at this point and forces him to return to entering the water. In the future, Gi-Jun uncovers him in this manner. Everyone else arrives to the hospital, with the exception of In-Ha, who is shocked to learn that his father was found alive, despite the fact that he is currently in a severe state because of his ailment. When In-Ha discovers the hidden room in his father's office, he continues to ponder where Joong-Mo might have concealed In-Ha during their time together. In light of the fact that things are currently looking very terrible for Tae-Oh, he has made the decision to give himself in to the prosecutor that he had tampered with earlier in order to redeem himself. Tae-Oh provides Myung-jin with information regarding the night of the murder, more specifically regarding the phone, which would have contained a recording of everything that took place on that particular night. They locate the proof they need to get Gi-Jun, but they see In-Ha in the video, and Tae-Oh is not willing to give him up just yet. Myung-jin delivers him the phone, and they find the evidence they need to obtain Gi-Jun. I believe it is only natural for him to be curious about the reasons behind his friend's betrayal, but he has assured Myung-jin that he will explain everything to her at the appropriate moment, and Tae-Oh never fails to keep his word. When Tae-Oh is ready to turn himself in, he goes back to the police station. Following that, he hires a lawyer named Chu Hyuk-jin, who is also one of Joong-Mo's associates, to represent me. Evidently, he wishes to demonstrate his allegiance to the chairman now that he is nearing the end of his life. I can't say for sure. Gi-Jun is taken into custody by Myung-jin for the killings that have been committed. Since his father is currently lying on his deathbed, In-Ha believes that he has everything under control at this point. While this is going on, his other half-brother is making preparations to take control of the company and convince all of the board members to support him politically. On the other hand, In-Ha pays Sajin a visit and inquires about whether or not he is still on his side. However, Sajin makes it very plain that he will not support In-Ha so long as Joong-Mo is still awake and breathing. When In-Ha returns to his house, he throws another unexpected curveball, and Hai-won decides to abandon him. While everything is going on, it appears that Tae-Oh has devised a comprehensive strategy to establish himself as the sole proprietor of the company. On the other side, Seong-ju's mother is aware that Tae-Oh is the individual responsible for the Royal Road project. Due to the fact that he is the individual who is responsible for everything, rather than her husband, she instructs her son to ensure that Tae-Oh is on his side in order for him to become the CEO of Kangoh's side. Tae-Oh's cellmate, and Tae-Oh come up with a scheme while they are both incarcerated. In order to make his investment in Kangoh, Tae-Oh has utilized a covered organization known as Gold H Investment. There was a paper company that was established specifically for In-Ha, although In-Ha himself was unaware of its existence. Conveniently, it is time for Tak to escape prison, and while he is getting ready to cosplay as an American who runs Gold H Investment with the assistance of Hai-Won and Won, Tae-Oh receives a retrial and is found to be innocent. It would appear that Won has never switched sides, which is a very frustrating fact. Both Seong-Ju and In-Ha are currently in a difficult situation due to the fact that Gold H Investments holds the majority ownership in the company. This means that they will have to attempt to convince the owner to take their side. As the 10th episode of the Impossible Heir comes to a close, In-Ha discovers that Tae-Oh has been set free while Gi-Jun is still being held captive and allowed to decay. In-Ha first pays a visit to Joong-Mo, after which she arranges for someone to keep an eye on Tae-Oh. At the same moment that In-Ha is ready to remove the oxygen mask from Joong-Mo's face, Tae-Oh grabs his hand. In-Ha has the intention of killing his father, but this time he will do it himself. At the conclusion of the episode, they have a confrontation that is seen via their eyes. In any case, I am unable to determine whether or not this entire situation is really a drama or whether or not In-Ha and Tae-Oh truly despise one another. I suppose that in the end, Kangoh will be the one to go to Tae-Oh, and as a result, he will be an Impossible Heir. At the conclusion of the Impossible Heir, which will air on Disney Plus the following week, we will find out.